Every year, things are getting more expensive in Nigeria simply because of one factor, which is what I call inflation. Inflation occurs when the prices of things like food and rent and other things are going up and the value of money is actually going down. In this situation, you say there is inflation. The price of things are actually going up and money is actually losing value. Inflation refers to the rate at which the prices of goods and services are rising, thereby affecting the purchasing power of money. As of January 2026, Nigeria's annual interest rate is slightly to 15.10, that is 15.10% from 15.15% as of December 2025. You see, a lot of us are actually complaining now that inflation is affecting us, is affecting our purchasing power, is making the price of goods and services to go up, and the average household families are the one feeling the negative effect of inflation. In this video, I'll be showing how you can actually beat inflation. Despite the fact that inflation is not a good thing, I have to be very sincere with you that for we that are investors, it is actually profitable. If you want to know how inflation is actually profitable to investors and entrepreneurs, I've actually produced that video. You can check out that video in my previous videos. As of December 2025, inflation was at 15.15%, but right now in January, according to the Bureau of Statistics, it is staying at 15.10, which is slightly different. The main drivers of inflation in Nigeria includes food prices, number two, fuel prices, number three, exchange rate, number four, energy cost, and number five, insecurity. The amount of money people are actually spending is growing every day. People are spending a lot of money. In fact, if you are earning certain amount of money in Nigeria now, if you are not very careful, you are going to realize that that money does not have any value. And by the time you buy one or two things, the money is gone. So the amount of money people are spending every day does not go as fast as the price of goods and their services. People right now in Nigeria, a lot of people are earning the same salary last year. They are still earning the same salary in 2026, but the prices of goods and services is actually increasing. So when price of goods and services is increasing and the purchasing power is not increasing, there is a problem. Then you see inflation is very rampant in such an economic system, for example, Nigeria. So if you are saving money in this economic system, it is not a good one because your money is not going to create any value. Your money is not going to have any value. Your money may not be able to beat inflation at this particular period of time. So if you are saving money in the bank now, your money is not safe. This is the reason why banks are spending a lot of money on advertisements, trying to entice people to save money, to keep money in the bank. And when you put this money in the bank account, it also have its own negative effect. And that's why I am showing this video that when you keep money in the bank in this present economic dispensation, it is not a good one. Don't forget, I am not saying you should not put money in the bank. It is good to keep money in the bank. But if you are actually saving the money in the bank for your future, for your retirement, or you are actually thinking that that money is going to make you to be very wealthy, you are actually making a wrong decisions. So that is the reason why banks are actually spending money to motivate you to put that money in the bank account. But at the end of the day, the money you put in the bank account, where is that money actually going to? Banks are going to give out the money in form of a loan to other individuals out there, thereby charging them interest. Then you ask yourself the question, when they charge them the interest, how much you get at the end of the day? You don't get anything. Banks are making more money, they're smiling every day, they're making millions, but on the other hand, the man that is putting the money in the bank is not making any money. Keeping money in the bank account is the surest way to make you go broke because your money is not creating any value. The banks are making more profit, The banks are making more money, but you are not making anything. So keeping money in the bank account will only make you to go broke. Every time you keep your money in the bank account, every time your money sits in a bank account, it loses value to what I call inflation. This doesn't mean that you should not keep your money in the bank account, but if you are putting your money in the bank account, it should be for a savings purpose. If you have been following my videos, you will remember that when I said savings, it's actually for a period of emergency because life happens. So you need to understand that when you put that money in that bank account, it is only for a period of emergency and not to create wealth for you at the end of the day. When you also put money in the bank account, it can also be that you want to use that money for your daily miscellaneous or for your daily activities. The question is, how do we beat inflation? A lot of us have been complaining that inflation is actually eating hard on us. It is not a favorable one. Now, what can you do to beat inflation? What can you do to become wealthy? What can you do to become rich? What can you do to become financially independent? One of the ways through which you can beat inflation, number one, is making your money grow faster than the inflation. You can actually make your money to grow faster than inflation. This can be achieved by investing in what I call seed. What are seeds? Seeds are actually investment that grows to make you more money. So when you talk about seed here, you're talking about investment. To invest, you need to do research. You need to have financial education. You need to make investigation. You need to find out the areas where you can actually invest your money to make more money. Through this, your money can beat inflation. You can actually invest in stocks, you can invest in mutual funds, or you can invest in real estate. You can invest in real estate, or you can start a business of your own. Number two ways through which you can be able to beat inflation in Nigeria now is to avoid buying expensive things. A lot of us buy expensive things, and most of these expensive things that we are actually buying, they are not creating any values. They are actually what I call liabilities. 2026, you need to avoid the liabilities. What are these liabilities? Liabilities are things that can create a hole in your pocket. Liabilities are things that are not creating value for you. Liabilities are things that are not making money for you, but rather you are spending money on them. Number one is a car. Number two is wristwatch. Number three are your expensive clothing. Number four are your expensive shoes. Number five, they are your expensive vacations. Number six are your expensive apartment. All these things are liabilities. So you need to avoid things that are very expensive if you want to beat inflation in Nigeria today. Number three things you can do to beat inflation in Nigeria is to do like what the banks are actually doing, which is what I call a private money lenders. I know of some guys that are money lenders in Nigeria. They are private money lenders. They give money to market women, and at the end of the month, for example, they can give you 30,000. At the end of the month, you pay them 35,000 naira. They are making 5,000 naira profit at the end of the day. These are private money lenders. But before you can become a private money lender, you need to understand that there are some certain risks. And for that reason, you need sometimes to involve an attorney. You need to involve a lawyer so that when it comes to legal issues, you can be able to trash them out and you can be able to resolve them at the end of the day. A lot of people are doing it in Nigeria now. I can tell you, a lot of them are making money. They're cashing out every day because they're charging about 10 to 15% interest on what? On the loans that they are giving to most of these market women, thereby creating employment for themselves and creating employment for their workers at the end of the day. Number four ways through which you can be able to beat inflation in Nigeria is to stop paying the banks. A lot of us are actually paying the banks, which we are not even conscious of or we are not even aware of. When I say, stop paying the banks, what I'm saying here is that you need to pay all your debts. A lot of us are owing, debt in most of these mortgage financial institutions, and we are paying a big amount of money at the end of every financial month. So if you want to beat inflation in Nigeria, you need to pay all your debts. There are two ways through which you can actually be able to pay your debt. Through what I call the snowball effect or through what I call the avalanche method. What is the snowball effect? The snowball effect says that if you want to pay your debt, you need to start paying from the smallest. Then if you talk about the avalanche, you need to start paying from the highest. So snowball means paying from the lowest. Avalanche means paying from the highest interest rate. So if you want to beat inflation, then you need to pay your debt to all the banks. When you pay your debt, it means you are not paying any interest. When you pay your debt, it means the banks are not making any profit from your body. They are not becoming richer and making you more popularized. Number five, another way through which you can actually beat inflation in Nigeria is by investing in yourself, investing in reading books. There are so many books out there on finances, on how to make money, how to become wealthy, how to become financially independent. You can begin to invest on those books by reading them. The problem with Nigerians is that we don't even read books. We don't, there are so many books out there that can, help you to become richer, that can enlighten you, that can educate you, that can actually open your knowledge of understanding when it comes to the area of finances. So you need to invest in those books. And apart from investing in those books, you can also invest on yourself. And by so doing, what I'm saying here is that you can invest in businesses. You can start your own startup businesses from the beginning. If you are very sincere, if you are very articulate, if you are hardworking, if you are resourceful, if you are focused, if you are determined, you can bet it that that business can grow at the end of the day. So you can invest in yourself by investing in reading books, or also investing in your own business. By reading all these books, it will help you to know how to manage your money. It will help you to understand that at the end of every financial month, when you are paid, you are not supposed to spend all the money like going to the nightclubs, enjoying yourself and having fun with your friends. You will also understand that when you earn that money, you should be able to systemize the money by dividing them into three parts, which is saving, investment, and what spending. The savings is for emergency, the investment is what you don't touch, and your spending is what you use till the end of the month when you get paid again by your employer. So when you understand this, you understand that you need not to spend all your money like the low income earners and the middle class actually do. When they earn the money, they spend the money. Apart from the fact that they earn and spend the money, they also use that money to increase their credit rate so that they can be able to have more access to credit facilities. The year 2026, you need not to belong to the majority that earn the money and spend the money. For the majority, these are the classes of people that do not have any form of investment, that do not have any form of savings. They earn the money, they spend the money, they use that money to increase their credit score so that they can have access to buy more cars, more expensive apartments, to go on expensive vacations, to enjoy their life, not knowing that at the end of the day, they are actually enjoying their future for today. By the time they grow older, there's nothing to rely on or to depend upon. So you need not to join the majority that spend all their hard-earned money on pleasures and pleasurable things. But you need to join the minority that when they earn the money, they don't spend all the money. They invest part of the money. They also save part of the money for what? For rainy days or for emergency when life actually happens. It's very, very easy to beat inflation in Nigeria if you follow these 5 steps which I've actually stated so far. And at the end of the day, you will never regret your decision. This is 2026, and you need to understand that it's the year to make more money. Don't belong to the majority, but join the minority that are making money every day. I hope you have actually gained something in this video. If you have gained something, please follow this channel and share this video. Till I see you next time, thank you so much.